Is inflammation keeping you from losing weight? And 6 things you can do about it right now. Do you ever feel like no matter what you do, that extra weight just isn't coming off? If that's the case, chronic inflammation can actually be behind the struggle. It messes with your metabolism, hormones, and even your cravings, making weight loss feel almost impossible. But don't worry, I've got 6 simple things that you can start doing right now to reduce inflammation and to start seeing results. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Kayo. I'm a certified nutritionist and health coach, and this is exactly what helped me and my clients finally shed that stubborn weight. So I'm sure we've all heard that buzzword inflammation before, but what exactly is it? Inflammation is your body's natural defense system. It's your body's reaction to fight infection and start a healing process whenever you're sick or injured. Here's the thing, what I've just described is acute inflammation, which is absolutely essential for recovery. But there's also chronic inflammation, which happens when your body stays in that alert state for too long, even when there's no injury or infection. And this can be triggered by stress, a poor diet, lack of exercise, or toxins. And over time, this ongoing immune response disrupts your metabolism and hormones and overall health, and therefore increases the risk of weight gain, heart disease, diabetes, and other chronic conditions. But you may be asking, how exactly does inflammation lead to weight gain? Well, there are 5 ways in that chronic inflammation and weight gain are very closely linked. Number 1 is insulin resistance. Inflammation messes with insulin, which is the hormone that helps your body use sugar for energy. And so normally, insulin moves sugar from your blood into your cells. But when there's too much inflammation going on, your cells stop reacting to insulin properly, which is called insulin resistance. And when this happens, your blood sugar goes up and your body stores that extra sugar as fat, especially around your belly. And so you can imagine over time, this makes losing weight even harder. Number 2 is leptin resistance. Leptin is another hormone, and that hormone tells your brain when you're full and don't need to eat any longer. But again, when you introduce too much inflammation, this signal can get messed up and your brain thinks you're still hungry even when you're not. And then that causes you to overeat and crave those sugary processed foods. And on top of that, when leptin isn't working properly, it also slows down your metabolism as if your body is preparing for starvation. So again, your body is holding onto that extra fat for energy. Number 3 is stress and cortisol. When your body is inflamed, it automatically produces more cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And again, high cortisol levels make your body store fat, especially around the belly. So for example, when you're stressed, you may have noticed your body especially craving that sugary and comfort food. And that is cortisol pushing your body to store extra fat, even when you don't actually need it. And if you've learned something new so far, please give this video a thumbs up so YouTube can show it to other people that may benefit from this. And if you've learned 2 new things by the end of this video, please consider subscribing because it really helps me grow and allows me to keep creating content like this for you for free. Number 4 is a slower metabolism. And this one I've already kind of touched on, but essentially inflammation doesn't just make you store more fat, it also makes your body burn fewer calories. And so a slow metabolism means that even with the same diet and the same exercise regime, the body will still hold onto weight instead of using it for energy. And lastly, number 5 is your gut health. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria that help with digestion and overall health. But when inflammation disrupts this balance, harmful bacteria can take over, creating this state of dysbiosis. And then this in turn can make you crave sugary and processed foods. It can stop your body from absorbing nutrients properly, so it doesn't work as well. And it can cause even more inflammation, which just creates this endless cycle, making it super hard to lose weight. And so now that we know how closely inflammation is linked to weight gain, how do you know if you're dealing with inflammation? So for example, do you ever feel like you're just dragging through the day, no matter how much you sleep? Or maybe your joints ache, your stomach may feel off, and your brain can also feel foggy. All of these could be signs of chronic inflammation. And if you've noticed that stubborn weight gain, especially around your belly, maybe constant bloating or trouble focusing, then those are also very common signs of chronic inflammation. So if you think that chronic inflammation is making it harder for you to lose weight, then it's really important to focus on more than just how much you eat or just the classic calories in versus calories out, because you need to address the inflammation at its source first in order to see any progress. The good news is though, it is very easy when you know how to do it right. And so here are the top ways to decrease inflammation fast. Step number 1 is to just stop feeding the fire in the first place, which sounds super easy and like a no-brainer, but I feel like that's where a lot of people struggle. So processed foods, refined sugar, and unhealthy fats all fuel inflammation. So not only are they fueling weight gain because of those high but empty calories, but also by fueling that inflammation, which we just learned makes it so much harder losing that weight again. And even sneaky ingredients like artificial sweeteners and additives can also trigger that immune response that keeps your body in stress mode. So what should you cut back on? We want to cut back on sugar and refined carbs, so white bread, pastries, fizzy drinks, and processed snacks. We want to avoid highly processed foods and anything with a mile-long ingredient list. Also, any unhealthy fats, so trans fats and excessive omega-6 fats, like those in vegetables and seed oils. We want to avoid exposure to toxins and household chemicals by using, for example, organic products. And we want to quit smoking and/or reduce our exposure to secondhand smoke. And so now that we minimize those inflammatory things, we want to load up on anti-inflammatory things. So anything that actively fights inflammation. Here we have leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, berries, fatty fish, nuts and seeds, and healthy oils, so like extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. But if you want to have a full list of all the anti-inflammatory foods that you should be including into your diet, then I will link this video up here where I give you the top 10 foods that fight inflammation. So we ditched all the inflammatory things, we loaded up on the anti-inflammatory things. Step number 3 is to heal your gut for long-term results. This is because an unhealthy gut can let toxins and irritants slip into your bloodstream, which just triggers more inflammation. So what can we do to boost our gut health? We want to eat probiotic-rich foods, so like yogurt, sauerkraut, kefir, miso, and kimchi, to flood your gut with good bacteria. Then we also want to load up on fiber, because fiber is what those good bacteria feed off of. And so therefore, fiber keeps your digestion smooth and also supports a healthy microbiome. Fiber you can easily get from fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. And again, we want to reduce any kind of irritants, so like alcohol, artificial sweeteners, and excessive caffeine, because they can all throw off your gut balance. And then number 4 is to move your body, but not overdo it. Let me explain. Exercise is a double-edged sword when it comes to inflammation. Too little movement can definitely increase inflammation, while too much high-intensity exercise, especially without the proper recovery, can also make things worse. So what's the sweet spot here? Moderate cardio is great, so like brisk walking, swimming, cycling, 3 to 4 times a week for like 30 to 45 minutes. You can also do low impact strength training around twice a week to really boost your metabolism and also support your muscle health. Then yoga and stretching are also amazing. They not only get you moving, but also reduce stress hormones and even reduce inflammation. And then it's really important to prioritize rest days to allow your muscles to recover and prevent any extra chronic stress on your body. And speaking of letting your body recover, a good night's sleep is also a must. If you're not getting enough sleep, your body is likely going to get stuck in a state of low-grade inflammation. Poor sleep also messes with your hunger hormones, slows metabolism, and increases cortisol. So all the things that we don't want. So let's aim for 7 to 9 hours of good quality sleep every single night. And to ensure that we're getting that good quality sleep, it's all about sleep hygiene. What that means is keep your room cool and dark, avoid screens about an hour before going to bed, and try and stick to a consistent sleep schedule. And if you want to know more sleep tips, then I'm going to link you this video up here where I give you 11 science-backed sleep hacks to get the best sleep. And lastly, we want to manage our stress levels. This channel is all about chronic stress and weight loss and inflammation, so I'm sure if you've watched my other videos, you know how bad chronic stress is for inflammation. It's really what's going to keep that inflammation alive and well, thanks to that really nice and steady stream of cortisol. And so finding those ways to manage stress can really significantly reduce inflammation and help with your weight loss. Some very easy ways to unwind are deep breathing, journaling, gentle movement, and saying no more often so that you're not overcommitting yourself. But I've also made a whole video on my top 15 ways to reset your nervous system in 5 minutes or less, which I'm going to link up here. So now that I've given you the 6 best ways to reduce inflammation very fast, I've got one small bonus tip, which is drinking plenty of water. Dehydration can really make inflammation inflammation much worse. It's as simple as that. And drinking plenty of water really helps flush out those toxins, supports digestion, and keeps everything running smoothly. So make sure you stay on top of your water intake, plain water or herbal teas, and avoid any kind of sugary or artificially sweetened drinks, while also making sure that you're staying on top of your electrolytes. And men, my friends, by following those 6.5 steps, you can quite literally see your weight just melt off. And if you need more help reducing inflammation and finally losing that extra weight sustainably, then you can book a free clarity call with me using the link below so we can discuss how I can help you. And if you want to know what foods can cause inflammation, then please check out this video next. Or if you want to know all my secret fat loss tips on how I lost 22 pounds myself and kept it off for good, then this video is for you. And so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you over there.